Hey everyone, as promised, I am going to do a quick video for you outlining the last couple weeks of class, mostly focused on the final project and doing a little bit more of an overview so that you are up to speed on what you have to accomplish. So the to-do list I've combined for the last few weeks. So this week you had to turn in your lesson plan and your reflection. So that is due Sunday at midnight, and that's on your STEM lesson. So just a reminder that make sure you have all your instructional materials attached, including any assessments or worksheets or your notebook page, in addition to your reflection. Also make sure to label the 5 E's so that I know that you, at least the ones that you're able to incorporate, so that I know you're addressing those. And that you have at least 3 learning targets, 1 for each standard. You should have 3 standards: math, science, and engineering. So that's the wrap up for the STEM. For week 10, you're going to be working on your equity project. That's the final project. And we don't have class, so just a reminder, no class Monday because it's a holiday. So that's why I'm doing this video, so you have the information. So your final project is going to be due on June 8th, but you are going to be presenting to your peer groups, your PLC groups. Actually, you won't be in your PLC groups. I'm going to mix you up for this one and try to combine people who chose different populations. So you're going to do a quick 5-minute presentation on Monday, the last week, finals week. We'll meet at the normal time at 9 a.m. And it'll probably last no more than an hour for that class. And what you're going to present is only the information, the resources that you found on your underrepresented population. So I'll go into a little more detail about that as we look at the final project. So that's what you're doing finals week. Week 10, you're going to be working on that project, and there's 2 parts. The first part is on the nature of science, and the second part is on that case study for underrepresented populations. Okay, so let's take a look at that project in the Google Drive, and on your on Canvas, you'll find a copy of this project sheet that explains the project. So it says, first of all, step 1. You have 2 parts, so you're going to complete a survey, which is attached. This is the Nature of Science survey. And you're going to score your survey using the answers that are provided. So you have to scroll down to the survey here. And I want you to really do the survey without looking at the answers. I don't want to know what you get if you cheat. I want to know what your prior knowledge is about the nature of science. And some of these are a little tricky, so just do your best. There's no right, wrong answer. It's just a matter of looking at, what do you think about currently in terms of how science works and the purpose of science. So as you go through each of these statements, you're going to say, I agree, or you lean that way, or B, disagree, you lean away from it. So for instance, science is primarily a search for the truth. Do I generally agree? I would put an A. If I disagree, I would put a B. Okay, and you're going to just mark those A through B. I have provided the answer, so when you're done, you're going to scroll down to the next page and you're going to get the answer key and you're going to score yours. So those scores will then actually be summarized in this project sheet here. After you've done the survey, then you're going to actually go to Canvas and look at the resources I've provided on the nature of science. So if we go to our Canvas page, I'm going to open up actually a new link to that so you can see both of those. If we go to our new or our Canvas page and we go down to week finals week, you'll see there's some nature of science resources. So some of these are videos, some of these are text. So these are videos, and this is the text. These are videos. So I want you to just kind of preview the videos, and then as you're doing that, you'll want to complete the section on here. Why is it important to teach the nature of science? So it tells you this kind of comes from the NGSS appendix. Make 2 connections between the NGSS nature of science, so that document from NGSS and the videos, see if you can make 2 connections, similar things that were relevant in both. And then you're going to actually find an article on your own that has to do with a particular scientist or type of science. So you can just search the internet for an article on, let's say, geology in the elementary school, or just geologists, and see. And then what you're going to look for in that article is these things. How are they investigating using a variety of methods? How is it based on? So what are these things that are present in that article? Is there knowledge based on empirical evidence? Is the science open to revision in light of new evidence? What models, laws, and theories are being used to explain natural phenomena? Does it discuss science as a way of knowing? So maybe you find an article on a famous geologist or biologist, or maybe you find an article on something current being done in biology or astrology, or you report what parts of these were in there. And you just need to include the name of the article and then highlight which ones of these categories were included. Okay, so that's pretty much the nature of science. That's part 1 of your final project. Okay, so the second part of your project is actually going to be about equity in science. Okay, so if we go back to step 2, it says, step 2 is still on the nature of science. This is all part of that first project. Okay, so your project sheet is going to be due on Canvas by midnight on June 8th. So none of this will be reported on during finals week when we meet. You don't have to share any of this information. This part is just a written portion. The second part of your final is this equity in science project. So we have many groups of underrepresented students in STEM and in science. So oftentimes the economically disadvantaged, so poor or low income students, students from different racial and ethnic backgrounds, students with disabilities, English language learners, females, alternative education students, and even gifted and talented students are often underrepresented in STEM. So you're going to choose one of these case studies or one of these populations to explore. So if you look at our Moodle site, Canvas, I can't believe I'm still saying Moodle, our Canvas site, there is an overview of this problem in these situations, and then there's the individual case studies. So you're going to go first and take a look at the overview, and I actually, I don't have the overview. Yes, I do have the overview. So I expect you to just skim this. Just kind of take a look at what is it that is the problem and why are students underrepresented. So read through this, and then you're going to actually pick your actual population. So let's say you pick girls. I want to look at females and how they're underrepresented and what are some strategies for improving that. So I'm going to click on the case study on girls. I'm going to read about that. It talks about defining the problem, and it actually talks about multiple solutions and gives kind of a case study of female students. So you're going to read the case study, and then you're going to actually have to go back to the project. So that's what this says. Review the resources, and then conduct your own research. So in addition to the case study, I want you to find 5 credible peer-reviewed resources that address your topic. So go to the library, go on the databases or Google Scholar search. Make sure you click peer-reviewed and find 5 resources or articles on, let's see, females in STEM or girls in STEM. And then you're going to make sure you collect the citations for those sources, and you will use your resources to complete the project sheet that's included. So again, you have 2 project sheets that are going to be done for this assignment. The second project sheet, this is the one for the equity, and so you're going to respond to some questions about your population. And this is what you're going to present during finals week, week 11, when we meet on Monday, June 7th at 9 o'clock on Zoom. And you will be put into groups. I'll break you up by different populations, and then you'll share probably 5 to 10 minutes on what you found out about this population and how the challenge is to make sure that they have access, and what are some ideas for providing improved access in your own classroom. So that is the final project. And so hopefully that helps you out. If you have any questions at all and are unsure about what to do, or you're welcome to sign up for office hours. I have office hours both week or during week 10. You can email me if those hours don't work, and we can set up another time, but that generally should tell you what to do. So the project sheet is in week 10 on Google. It's also on Canvas under week 10. So if you click on the assignment, it's also attached to the assignment. So you can find that in multiple places. Last thing to remind you of, there is, if you're not satisfied with your current grade in the class and you are interested in improving your grade, there are 3 projects that you can do for extra credit. Each student's only allowed to choose one of these projects. So I'll only let you complete one for extra credit, and those are down here and should be self-explanatory. If you have any questions about that, again, sign up for office hours or email me, and I'm happy to clear that up. And I look forward to seeing you all on Monday the 7th for our last in-class meeting. Take care and have a great holiday weekend, and I will see you soon.